I made a video a number of years ago on how to make these wonderful flower top boxes, and it seemed like a really good way to do it. But recently I saw Joan Sallas demonstrate how to make these to a group of Ukrainian teachers, and his method is so much better than the one I've been using that I asked him to show me at a later date, and he very generously did. So I'm going to show you this new revisited version of how to make these flower top boxes. The one thing I want you to notice, though, is that these ones that are recently made are still pretty puffy, and that sort of frustrates people that they're so puffy they won't stay flat. But let me assure you that after they've been in their Jinshenbao or anywhere else flat for a while, they flatten down very nicely. So don't worry about that puffiness. It just is a matter of time before the puffiness goes away. So here's a square, but you don't start with a square. You start with half of a square. So this is 12 inches across. So I am going to cut it to, this is a square that's 12 by 12. I'm going to be cutting it to a page that's 6 by 12. And that's what I'll use for my flower top box. Well, now I've got enough for 2 flower top boxes. So the thing to remember is that whatever is inside when I do the folding is what will be revealed afterwards. So I think I want the light blue to be the part of the flower that's revealed. So I'm going to start by hiding that and bring this one edge to the center. So I fold it in half, bringing one edge to the center, bringing the other edge to the center, whatever way is comfortable for you. Okay. All of my initial folds are going to be valley folds, and so now I'm going to make, I've divided this in fourths. I'm going to divide it now in eighths the other way. So I'll end up with 8 rows of 4 squares. I want them all to be valley folds, so there's a certain way that John recommends, and I'm going to do it his way. So I brought everything to the center first. Now I need 4 more folds, and the way I'll get the one here is to bring it up to the top fold, rotate it, and do the same thing. The way I'll get the one here is to bring the bottom edge to the uppermost fold, and now I still need one here and here. Excuse me, one here and here, and so I'll just bring this edge up. You can see everything is valley folds. I'm going to do another fold. He does this one later on, but I think it's fine to do it right here. I'm going to, there's a little square here. I'm just going to be folding it, making a fold, the diagonal fold of that square right there. And here, unfold it. Do the same thing on the other side. A lot of symmetry here. Okay, so a lot of these kind of triangular folding needs to happen down the edge here, but this is how I'll do the rest. I'll bring the bottom edge up, so you can see there's 1, 2, 3 sections 1, 2, 3 rows of squares here and 2 up here. But then I'll flip it over and bring in these corners. And this allows everything to be, all the folds to be in the direction you want for folding the box. Okay, turn it over again and repeat what I just did. So there's 1, 2, 3 rows of squares, 2 up here. Turn it over and make these folds. I often forget to turn this over just like this, so try not, so I warn you not to forget it. Okay, see that nice, those nice series of triangular folds there? Okay, so now here's what Jan suggests is I bring this, now think about this, this is going to be the sides of our box. This is the base. This is the base of the box. So I'm just going to fold it like this, where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the ones together. I'll bring them to the side, 4 of these rows of squares together. This is sort of like a little shovel, right? And I'll just take that little shovel and I'll bring it down, and it makes this kind of like a little house shape. And I'm going to bring these in, but just like I did before, I'm just going to bring in just the bottom, these 2 bottom pieces, and let this be like a little shovel here. Okay, and fold those down, and again, you've got something that looks like a little bit of a house. Oh, but we don't want a house. We want something that has a steeple, not a roof. So I'm going to bring this part right here. I'm going to bring that up so it makes a steeple. Okay. So this is how Jan told me. He called it a church. I'm calling it a steeple. And he says, what's in the steeple are bells. So I've got to find those bells. And there's a little pocket here. And see, that looks like a little bit of bell. And there's a fold right there. And I am going to use that fold to press this down into a square. Same thing over here. I'm going to make that, find the bell, and then press this down into a square. Okay, so look at what I've got here. I've got this sort of triangle shape here and 2 squares. I want this triangle here pointing down. Okay, now it's pointing down. And the base here, from the base here, I'm going to make kites. And you can see that there's a fold line that's going towards the center. And we're going to bring those kites from the outside corner, this edge to the center. Hope you saw that, because if you didn't, we'll do it 3 more times. So from this bottom, there's a line here, and I bring this edge right to this diagonal fold line right here, and same thing over here. Okay, now I'm going to be flipping this little part over 3 times. This is the first time. It goes 1. Okay, 3 times, that's the first one. Okay, I'm flipping it over. I hit those kites. Now I want to sort of peek at those kites, and I do that by bringing this edge here. And it's better, as Joan mentioned, sometimes not to think about folding, but think about curling it. So first I'm curling it to get it in the right position. You can see that's half of the square again, and pressing it down and doing the same thing over here. Curling it, get it in the right position. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I said we were doing 3 flips. Here's the second one. There we go. Flipped it. I'm going to rotate it here and I see a little pocket right there. See a little pocket? Little pocket. I'm going to push that pocket so that these edges come together and they form like another little kite. This isn't working as nicely as I want it to, but I'm going to go with it, see what happens. Same thing over here. Push it in. This one worked better. See if I can get this other one to work better too. Don't quite know why that one's not cooperating as well, but I'm going to go with it. Okay, I'm going to flip it for the third time, and there's my first half of the flower top box. Okay, now I'm going to repeat everything to the other side. Remember that beginning part where we made that sort of little house part? So here it goes. It's like a little shovel. And I'm bringing this down. Pulling the sides in. Except I don't need to pull the whole side in. Okay, it's just this bottom part. And again, bring this down like the roof of a house, but we don't want the roof of the house. We want a steeple. There's the steeple. Now, looking for the bells. There's the bell. Bring it down. Here's the other bell. Bring it down. Okay. There. This is pointing up. I want it pointing down. And down here, from the bottom outside edges, I'm making these little kite shapes, bringing this outside edge to the center diagonal fold. I'm using a pretty thin paper here. If you use a thicker paper, when you're making these last folds, you might want to dampen the paper a little bit if it's a strong paper. And it'll make the folding easier. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this. Hide the kites, now peek at them. Peek at it. There we go. That was one flip. Here's the second flip. Flip. Here's my little pockets. Let's see if I have better luck this time, making my pockets just perfect. See, they get pushed up. Pushed up. And this one's giving me a little bit of a hard time, but I think it's going to be fine. Flip it back. And there's my flower top box. Now remember, it's going to be puffy, but just let it sit someplace under a book or someplace or in a closed folder, and it will flatten out. Okay, enjoy.